Welcome in. How's it going? I'll pretend that I wasn't muted for the last 2 minutes or something like that. That's weird. I even double checked that. But welcome in. Thank you so much for joining in and letting me know that I was muted. But we're going to be talking about Polaroid versus Instax. Which is best? Yes, which one is the best format to shoot? Leave some comments. Let's discuss. But before we dive into that, I want to remind you that today is the last day that you can get 50% off the masterclass on instant photography. Yeah, master the art of instant photography for only $29.99. Stop wasting money on wasted shots. Via money, that is. So check it out. Link in the description. Tonight, basically, is the last opportunity to get it for 50% off. Yeah, it's over 3.5 hours of exclusive content. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Check it out. But we want to dive into the topic of Instax versus Polaroid. Which one should you get? Which one is better? Feel free to leave some comments. If you have any questions about anything else too, let's chat about it. And I was going to start streaming on Mondays from now on. But I think I'm going to have to break that because I think Christmas is on a Monday this year. So I won't be streaming on Christmas. Well, who knows? You never know. I might. But I was going to start streaming at 3 p.m. on Mondays, but I was in the zone editing a video that will be out tomorrow for Patreon members. So if you want to check that out, head on over to Patreon. I already put it up. I'll put it up again because you guys didn't hear me talk about it. Head on over there. It will get you 24-hour early access to stuff plus a lot of other perks. Really, really cool. But yeah, I'm like, I need like 20 minutes before I could. I was like, it's really wrapping up the video, just about done. And I'm like, it's 3 o'clock. I need 20 minutes. I'll go live at 4. But I'm thinking about going live at 3 p.m. starting maybe next week. I really want to commit to doing Monday live streams. Yes, we are back. Yes, it happens to the best of us. Even me. I'm supposed to be professional. I do this for a living. But I think I know what I did. I was double checking things as I was streaming, and I accidentally clicked the button, and then I muted it. And then that it does a thing to my software. That was my mistake. You're saying Polaroid is best? Well, we're going to discuss. We're going to go over some pros and cons and some cool stuff. I like how the whole chat went ballistic when you're muted. Maybe it's just a strategy to get you guys to comment. Helps the algorithm out, right? No, it wasn't. And gosh dang it. There it is. That's the other thing I gotta fix. I'm still set up for my desk over there, and I think there's a button on my mixer over here that is conflicting with another button over there, and it's not letting me get the comments on and off. So anyway, I fixed it for now. Hello. How's it going? We like to lurk. That's fine. You can lurk. You can lurk all you want. But yes, let's talk about Polaroid versus Instax. So there's no surprise. I've been Polaroid heavy since I've pretty much started this channel. At least focusing on instant photography, which was back in 2020 when I first started focusing this. Even though this was my very first ever instant photography video that I did back in 2018. And I'm like, this is pretty fun. I'm like, I kind of want to get into this, but I kind of put it on the back burner. But in 2020, I dove really into it. And Polaroid has been kind of my main focus, if you guys know. But I've also been very vocal about my frustrations with Polaroid. And I know Polaroid knows that as well. Long story. But I'm kind of maybe potentially leaning more towards Instax in 2024. I'm probably going to be doing a heck of a lot more content focusing on Instax over Polaroid. Polaroid is starting to just frustrate me to no end. So I think that's what I'm kind of more leaning towards in 2024. But would like to know your guys' thoughts. I only have a Polaroid, but I think both have their own pros and cons. That is so true. It is so true. Such as Polaroid film being super expensive, Instax being relatively inexpensive, but at the sacrifice of the cameras and the size of the photos. Instax mini, you know, to the name. I got square. I put it up there, right there. And I have wide. I ended up not putting it in here. I'll put it back on my camera shelf. But wide's is pretty good. I mean, and plus you get 10 shots versus 8 shots on Polaroid. But probably the biggest one is you don't have to baby your film, period, with Instax film. It just works. Any temperature, any condition, I've put it through, and it just flawlessly works. That's not the case with Polaroid. Polaroid, if it's even just 1 degree off, it just throws a fit, and it could just completely alter your pictures. If it's hot or cold, it will color shift, or not even spread properly at all, or just not spread properly out of a brand new pack in the perfect conditions, any conditions. The quality control is just killing me this year and frustrating the heck out of me. I've wasted hundreds of dollars this year just on packs of film not working, and it's just annoying, as you guys probably would know if it ever happened to you. And I'm not just talking 1 or 2 photos in a pack. I've had packs where all 8 photos completely just got destroyed. Just don't work. No spreads. And they're directly from Polaroid. That's another topic that people like to discuss in the comments of my videos. Buying the Polaroid film, where to buy it. And everyone says buy it directly from Polaroid or get the best results. That's not the case, because the majority of my issues have been directly from Polaroid purchases. Yet with Instax, you don't have to worry about any of that. It will guarantee work. And I'm talking years past its expiration. And Instax is the only, over the 2, they claim their film expires like 2 years, I think it is. Polaroid doesn't claim theirs expires. It's just you'll see the best results within the first year of its production date. So that's an interesting thing as well. Going back here, we got a lot. Yes, Instax have better price for sure. I would say the cameras, though, is what's stopping me from diving completely in, though. I would love to see nicer cameras made. That's one thing I do love about Polaroids. Maybe I can do a comparison of the Mini 9 versus the 12. So there's really nothing different. I haven't tested it. I could be wrong. But from what I've seen, I've seen them at the store and stuff. They're identical. They're just, different design of the body of the camera. The only difference one is the Mini 40. I haven't tested it. I haven't used it. But I guess that one, you have a little bit more options, like being able to turn the flash off. I haven't tested it, though. I need to. It's on the list. It will be happening in 2024. Guaranteed. It's time. I've heard the comments. I will do it. That is a comment. But, yeah. Polaroid has cool duochrome options. That's so true. There's so much more film options from Polaroid, I would say. Cool frames, duochrome, experimental stuff. I agree. That is cool. But you do pay up for it. You do pay up for that a lot. So that is a thing. Evening, what's going on? I think Instax is better by definition, better colors, cheaper, etc. But I prefer the experience to Polaroid. So yeah, like they do provide different looks, and it depends on. I guess that goes to why you want to get into the instant photography hobby. What style are you looking for? Are you looking for a retro feel? Well, go to Polaroid. That's going to give it to you, for sure. If you're looking for, like, almost just, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, straight from your phone screen to a photo. Instax is going to get pretty dang close, really close, especially if you're using the Evo. You can just print the photos off your phone right onto here. I'm using the print loosely here because you're not really printing them. It's more of exposing the... I don't know how it would work, but it's not really printing. But they do say print on here, but it's not printing. It's like exposing the film as it ejects out, but I digress. Instax has more film frames? No, they don't have more film frames. They do not. Very, very... they get some, but they're not like... I'd say Polaroid probably gets more. As well as more options in the film types. Like the duochromes, black and whites, the reclaimed blue, and then regular. Then they try to mix it up with their chemistry in the film as well. Sometimes. One of the biggest deal breakers for me is how needy Polaroid is compared to Instax. Polaroid regularly fail. Exactly. That is my biggest freaking complaint this year. It's always been there. but I just accepted a little bit of it. I'm like, oh, here's a messed up photo, 1 in every 20 shots or 1 in every 50 shots or whatever. It's like, it kind of, But this year, it's been like one after another and full freaking packs. I'm like, well, that was $20 just down the toilet. Another 20, another 20, another 20. I bought a 5-pack and 3 of the packs inside had issues. I'm like, sheesh. And of course, well, I won't go there, but it's frustrating. And meanwhile, Instax, flawless, just works every single time. This I can say is false. Yeah, I would say maybe potentially. I have no way to fully test this because it doesn't exist anymore. The Impossible Project photos, those I have heard people say faded pretty quickly over time. Now, with that said, I've only been using Polaroid Originals and Polaroid. I've never seen them fade. They're still vibrant. They're still great. I think it was just a chemistry thing that they were trying to figure out. Now, I will point out, black and white Polaroid film, they'll turn brown. They'll turn like a sepia color over time. And I have a test that I'm currently testing. It's going to take some time to actually for it to finish. But I thought maybe some of it is seeping back into the photo from the little sponge at the top. So I cut them out on a few of them. And I just have them sitting around waiting to see what happens, if anything at all. Maybe that's the problem. So if you have black and white and they change, there's a little extra pro tip for you. That could be a potential fix. I'll report back once I actually have proper data to give you. I wonder if Polaroid wants to work on making the film thinner. They'll never go back to like 10 photos. Ever. Sorry. It's not going to happen. It just won't happen. One being, they already have all these cameras that can only accept 8 photos. If they put out more film that takes 10, these can't work. Because once you get to through the film counter up to empty, they don't shoot anymore. So that's a big problem. That's one of the cases. But the bigger one is we've accepted that we will pay $20 a pack of 8. Why would they add in extra shots if we're already paying that price? They're losing money at that point. They'd have to charge more for it, and that prices them out of competition with Instax. And they're already priced out of it in a sense, but at least they're somewhat close. So this is never going to happen. Just not. And there's somebody that I was talking to in one of my, I think it was a DM on Instagram. They were able to fit 10 shots in, I think, I-type. No, it was 600. They just trimmed the battery down quite a bit. And you can actually fit 10 in there already, but they're just choosing not to. Polaroid, it is. There we go. I love shooting SX70s, vintage 600 box cameras, and my i2, but Lomo Instant Square. It's way more reliable. So true. Except for the framing on that camera. Framing on that camera is atrocious. It takes some practice. I have it. I love it. I actually haven't shot with it in a bit. And it's also slated to come back for 2024 because I'm going to be diving more into Instax and kind of not focusing much on Polaroid. Pretty sure. I haven't 100% committed to that, but I'm pretty sure. However, fun fact, the Lomo Instant Glass, or the square glass, was the first video I ever did on focusing on instant photography on this channel. So maybe I should save it for the anniversary of that. For like the 5th year, 4th year, I don't remember how many years. So it was 2020. So over 3 years now. Because it was like May or June when I started that. So yeah, fun fact. Was it going to send? It didn't send. Did it send? Being slow today. Not really a Polaroid question, but I can always shoot my shot. I want to buy a Polaroid high print, but I'm concerned about something. Can't see it. Hang on. About the amount of sticky paper curves over time. Do you have experience? Oh yeah. So I haven't done the video. I did a video on that years ago. I'm trying to remember. Because I compared it to zinc paper, and that stuff really curled. I'm fairly sure that the high print stuff doesn't curl. I'm 99% sure it doesn't. And also, if you're using the Kodak camera, the retro, I think it is, it's technically an instant camera, but it's the same process of a high print. It uses dye sublimation, and they're like 2x3 photos, like the size of Instax photos. And those cartridges are interchangeable. So I know Kodaks tend to like just vanish. I think the square version is gone. I don't think they make that anymore. But the 2x3s come in and out of stock, and but the high print stuff will work in the Kodaks, and it's better paper because it's sticky paper. I like it. I haven't used it in a while. I should bust that out. Imagine how screwed Polaroid would be if Fuji started producing Polaroid type film. What do you mean type film? Type film, like size, like this, the regular size. Well, that can't happen. Because they have a patent on that. If you remember, Kodak tried that back in the day, and they got just destroyed. I wonder if they're still paying that off, because it was like ridiculous amount of money. Like it was like the highest lawsuit or whatever of the time. It might even be of all time. Adjusted for inflation. It's interesting. Check it out. Oh, I actually just got one of these. The Instax wide printer has been my favorite photography tool. It is super cool. I literally got one a couple days ago. Walmart had a sale on it, $100, and it came with a pack of film of 10, not full 20. But it's pretty cool. I've only used it a couple of times, but I'm gonna start utilizing it for a couple things coming up. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. Yeah. So me too. I've been waiting to review the Nons SL660 for a while. I want to really bad. I've contacted them a couple of times over the last couple of years. The first time I reached out to them, I never got a response back. Second time, they did respond back and said they don't work with content creators. And then I literally messaged them earlier this week. I got this. They did respond, but literally the same thing. They don't work with content creators, and they don't have any like program or something to set up to be able to do it or whatever. So I'm on my own to purchase it, and I cannot afford it right now. I have spent tens of thousands probably this year on making content, on cameras and film and travel stuff. Yeah, so won't be happening anytime soon unless they want to send me a loaner camera, or if somebody out there has one and would let me borrow it, that'd be awesome. I will definitely check it out. But no current set plans on doing one. Have you tried the yellow? So they're talking about the duochrome yellow. So funny thing is that came out the first time in 2020, potentially one other time during Impossible Project era. I don't know for sure, but I bought a couple packs in 2020. Never shot it. I ended up giving one away to Caleb. You guys should know Caleb and Alex. Gave one to Caleb because that's his favorite one. But I still have one in my fridge. Never shot it. And then they re-released it again. I don't know if it's in stock anymore, but it was. I considered buying it, but I didn't even shoot the first time. So I have a fridge full of duochrome, and I want to do a duochrome video at some point soon. I'll have to do it soon. But I've got blue, yellow, green, and then I have reclaimed blue. One pack left of that. And one of you lovely viewers was gracious enough to send me to the P.O. Box a pack of pink duochrome Impossible Project era. I doubt that's going to work. Production date was 2017 on that. No hopes for that. But I want to do a full duochrome style video. And so I'll be shooting all of that in that video. Stay tuned. yeah, you would like to see it. Well, stay tuned. Sorry, I'm trying to get like caught up. I already had some black and white turn sepia. Yeah, so next time you shoot some, like do it right away. But if it's been months, forget about it. I would assume it's too late. On the top of your photo, I don't have a photo handy. Surprisingly, I usually have them everywhere. But you know, there's a little sponge at the top to catch the excess chemistry. Cut it off. Like just peel up the backing of the Polaroid and then pull out that little sponge and get that off of there. And in theory, that could work. But again, I'm still testing to find out. I don't know for sure. A mug is dope. Well, hey, if you want to join the Spitfire Club, you can get yourself one too. Where is it? There it is. Link is in the description. You get a lot of perks. You get 24-hour early access to videos, ad-free as well. You also get monthly videos, exclusive videos type things. You get monthly photos sent to your door. And probably one of the coolest ones is our monthly Zoom calls, which I need to schedule that. I meant to do that today. This month's will be coming up this week. But we sit face-to-face during a Zoom call with people in the club, usually fun topics. This one probably will just be a catch-up because I've been so busy. But I've got some guests kind of lined up. I've had a couple guests already on there. It's pretty fun. Consider checking it out. Link is in the description. There's a lot of fun stuff in the description, actually. I threw in this. This has been around forever, but no one really knows about it. So I put a link to this hoodie. If you want to grab one of those, and some links to some of these cameras and film and whatnot. So there you go. Ooh, just bought an Instax Mini 11 a week ago. My first photo was a selfie, and the quality was super great. Got cut off there. A few days later, the discount landscape was pretty grainy. Landscape doesn't really translate to Instax Mini. That's where Polaroid really shines, I'll say, as well as Instax Wide. If you want to do some of that stuff, that's where this stuff really shines. Where Polaroid really shines and Instax Wide. Instax Mini is more for what you just said, like selfies and like a party environment. Not that you can't get like cool like architectural shots, which I have done some good ones with that, but it's a little trickier. It's too small of a frame to really appreciate it. Ooh. I think the more artsy look of Polaroid images. I think they mean the more artsy. Did I miss a comment or something? I think I missed a comment. I apologize. I don't know what you're talking about. Polaroid film for looks. Instax for consistency. Oh, I read that as conspiracy. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yes, I totally agree. I completely agree. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm torn between the high print and the Kodak Mini 2 Retro. Just the printer. Can't decide. Let's see here. Bought the Instax Evo 2 days ago. I love it, but I'm not sure yet. So the Evo is both a camera and a printer. Again, loosely on the word print. But it's great. You can do some fun things with it. And if you're new to instant photography, this is the best camera you could purchase just because I'm sure you've shot photos with your phone. This is no different. You got the screen on the back. It operates like a digital camera that has the ability to, again, loosely on the word print, but print your photos out. Or just print the photos on your phone. It's really cool and it's really nice. You don't have to waste shots. You will not waste photos with this, or aka money. And you still get that like film look or film feel. The other printers, like the high print and stuff, serves great purposes for like scrapbooking and things. If you're into that sort of thing, or just making cool like your own like stickers. But the print quality on those are really good. But the camera side of it, so if you're using like the Kodak ones, it's not the greatest quality camera. So that translates to the paper itself, even though the paper can do a lot better like results. But I don't know. That's a tough call. I might go with the high print over the other ones. It came out with Impossible. Oh yeah, the Third Man Records. That's right, the yellow one. I forgot about that. Third Man Record one. I remember seeing that one. I've been there. I've been to Jack White's. Well, I guess not the pressing. Whatever the factory. I haven't been to the factory. I've been to his second location, which is the shop, which I guess you can shop in the other one too. I've been to the one in Nashville, which is just, I think, a distribution spot and a shop for records. Hello, what do you think of the best photo quality camera for square format? I'd say it's this one. Is the SQ6. If you want to dive into lomography, then I would recommend the Lomo Instant Square Glass. It's got a glass lens that has a plastic lens, and then glass always gets better results. Sometimes. Not always. However, if you're wanting the best and crispest and the most beautiful, like, whatever shots, I wouldn't go with instant photography to begin with. That kind of defeats the purpose of what these are. These are supposed to give you kind of its own unique look, its own style, retro, reminiscent of a time past sort of thing. So that's my 2 cents there. But you can't go wrong with this. I did leave a link in the description to pick this one up. It was on sale for $90, which is a steal and a half, because that thing retailed for like $140, I think. And it's been discontinued for like a year and a half, and out of nowhere Fuji put them back up for sale. Don't know why, but it's awesome. It has all the features. I did a video earlier this week on best cameras to buy, and I suggest go watching that. I go in depth a little bit, and I've done a video breaking it down. Just search my channel and you'll find it. I've noticed that when you finally hit the age when you have disposable income, what's that like? Is when you can decide between Polaroid and Instax. That's so true. What I did was when I started getting into it, I'm like, hey, I'm going to start making videos about this to justify my purchases. I never thought it'd actually like take off like it has, which is great and awesome. But I know what you're saying. Hello, how's it going? How are you? Want to join the conversation? Are you Polaroid or Instax? What side are you on? Are you Team Polaroid or are you Team Instax? Remember that stuff? Was it Twilight? Team Edward and Team Jacob. Wow, I can't remember. I can't. What am I trying to say? I'm just shocked that I remember it. That's how shocked I am. Mint does have a twin lens. I don't know, Mint stuff. The only thing I really like by them is their flash bar. I've used their what have I used by them? I've used the RF70 and then the Polaroid one. The what do they call it? The SLR 670S. That's what it's called. It has the time machine, so you can do manual control and all that. Not for me. And they're so freaking expensive. That twin lens is so stupidly expensive. But it also suffers from the same issues I was having with the RF70 and the fact that you're required to use an ND filter when you're outside because this film speed is just too sensitive to how fast that shutter can go, which isn't very fast. I think 500th of a second is the max. It needs to do 750 at the minimum. Or, yeah, minimum. I almost said maximum. No, I'd love to see it go up to 1,000. 1,000 would be great. Be so cool, but those, they don't. Okay, come on. There we go. I bought an I-type film today. Nice, because it was on sale. That's so cool. What camera did you get? Did you get the Now Gen 2? Hopefully you didn't get the Now Plus. If you did, I would encourage you to maybe consider returning that. And don't waste your film, because that thing will overexpose your shots. That just reminded me of something. A company reached out to me recently that might help improve a couple of cameras utilizing a off-camera light meter to help properly gauge your scene. So the Now Plus has manual control, and the i2 also has manual control, and the sensors on those cameras are just horrible. They don't meter correctly. You have to use something off camera. And this one, you can put it on the camera and it helps you read it. It looks pretty freaking sweet, and I think that might fix, quote unquote, fix the Now Plus issue, because you'll be able to properly expose for the scene correctly. So when I get that, be on the lookout, because I will do a video about it, using it. Can't wait. What's been discontinued for over a year and a half? The SQ6. This guy right here. The Fuji Instax SQ6. It's been discontinued and out of stock. They even replaced it with 2 cameras. The SQ1, and then they just came out with another one. I can't remember what it's called, but it's black. Both of them, the SQ1 and that newest one, I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry. Literally, it just came out. But they stripped out the features. It's just like a point and shoot. I mean, heck, this one has more features than the those ones. And what I'm talking about is being able to control some of your like exposure compensation, turn off your flash. That has double exposure. It has a tripod mount. It has a self timer. I think also, yeah, stuff like that. It's really neat. They took all that off of it in the last two cameras, and that camera hasn't been available. They clearanced it out like in 2020, early 2022 maybe, and they that's how I got mine, and it was like, I don't know, $70, and then they haven't been back, and until now, out of nowhere, and they even said it's discontinued, so I don't understand. But hey, it's back. I would get it. I did leave a link in the description. Hopefully, it's still on sale. It might have been a lightning deal on Amazon, but they were on sale for $90. So hopefully, if not, I'd still consider maybe grabbing it just because it's the best Instax square camera they've ever made. Fuji, that is. Potentially of all. The lomography square glass is pretty good though. Boom, boom. But if you could choose one, which would it be? Like Polaroid or Instax? Because that is the discussion. That is the $1 million question. Maybe even $1 billion question. Which one is actually best? Or which one do I prefer, essentially? I've been Polaroid heavy, as you guys know, for years and years. Focus form. I have been in the trenches defending Polaroid time and time again. Yet, I will point out their flaws. Won't stop me from doing that. And there's only been one, well, I guess now two instances of that. One with the Now Plus issue and their film issues this year. I've been very vocal about that. Partly why they don't want to work with me. But I am the one defending them. Everyone in my comments like, they're trash, they're horrible. Switch to Instax. I'm still torn because I love their cameras. Well, no, that is true. My favorite Polaroid camera is the 1-Step 2. Hands down, my favorite camera to use. It is made by the people that ended up coming off of the Impossible Project. These are Polaroid from the original days. Different company. This is still one of my go-to cameras, of course, an SX70. But I'm the one defending them. But I have reached a point where I'm starting to consider maybe I should switch to Instax, mostly for the business side of things, making more content about them. Because more of my audience has been interested in Instax than Polaroid. And so since my channel's been growing a lot the last couple of years, and I think, well, maybe I do like them. I do like shooting Instax. But maybe I should start switching more over there because there's bigger audience. I can grow more, and then maybe just shoot Polaroid a little bit in my own time. And also, why promote a company that doesn't want to work with me at all? So there's that little chip on my shoulder, I guess. But it's hard to choose. It really is. Really tough. Man, a lot of comments rolled through. During my little rant there. Polaroid tops all. I love SX70 sonar. Polaroid is so pricey though. It really is. Out of all Instax cameras, I'm team Instax wide. Nice. I like wide. That's my go-to. For sure. Hands down. I'm rocking the Instax 200. No sense in going any, like, get the newer one. The newest one's like 8 years old. I think. Pretty sure. It's like, I think 2015, I think. Yeah, I think it was 2015 when that came out. They haven't put out another wide camera. It sucks. It really sucks. Sometimes it's a benefit to live in a country where gray weather is, so you don't have to worry about shutter speed being too low. But the problem with that is, yeah, no, I can see your point there. But also your photos are just so gloomy and tend to be desaturated. Especially with Instax, which is weird because they're actually pretty saturated naturally. But I know what you mean. I live in the Pacific Northwest. We're gloomy. We're gloomy gloomers. Not as bad as everyone says it is. Like right now, it was beautiful out, clear skies, 40 some degrees though. But in December, for about the whole month of December, it'll be pretty gloomy. And I don't shoot there anymore. I don't shoot in those weather. It's just my off season. I shoot indoors. Try to be more creative that way. I digress. Do you have any good accessories for the Polaroid Now Gen 2? So, funny thing you bring that up. That is the next video. Not necessarily for the Gen 2, but for the best accessories that I've used this year. My top 10. And that'll be coming out tomorrow for Spitfire Club members. And then the next day after that for public. But the accessory that might be the best one for that Now Gen 2 is that light meter that company is sending me. I don't want to say what it is and all that stuff because I don't know if it's good yet. I want to make sure I test stuff before I tell you about stuff. So that's what I do. I don't know if it's good or not. It just says a lot of promise, especially coming from the company that's coming from. I do like their stuff. Like filters. So, they work on everything, but Retrograde's engineers, he has those lens adapters. There's one for the Now, not for the Now Plus though. It's different size, but he has them for the Now. Those are good accessories. I like my Mini 90 and my Now Mandalorian theme. Nice. I almost got the Mandalorian one when it came out. It's pretty good, but I passed. Mini 90 though, I still need to do a video on, and the 40. I left the 40 link down below. I guess that one's supposedly the best Instax mini camera. I don't know for sure, but I'll be testing it. I still have my old iType 1 Step 2 from 2018. I don't see why I should buy a Polaroid now. I prefer the old 600 cameras. And hang on. Ooh, where'd you go? Oh, there it is. And SX70, but iType film is cheaper. Is it? iType film over SX70 film? I guess it is like $1 or $2. I have the SQ6 too. SQ6 is great. It's fantastic. I love Polaroid, but Instax is just way more consistent. Yes, 100%. 100%! And you get 2 extra photos. It's just the cameras. Why can't their cameras be fun and cool? Be so cool. I recently got an Instax wide after using only Polaroid, and while I love Instax, I still prefer my Polaroids because of their I think it says unpredictable nature. Instax is just very sterile. That's true. Polaroid, it's like I was saying earlier, it's a style, it's a look. It gives you that retro feel. However, I see right through Polaroid's marketing, and I don't approve of it, where they say, embrace the chaos. That's just stupid because they're just literally saying, yeah, our stuff sucks. Embrace it, though. Give us your money. Sorry, that was harsh, but it's true. And then they try to pass on their errors as like artsy, fartsy type things because they know we'll buy it. When they sold off the duochrome green, they failed at duochrome green, but they sold it to us instead of just writing it off as a tax deduction. They went for profit, which I guess is fine. It's a business. I get it, but here we are buying it. And they just did a whole marketing campaign saying like, yeah, look at this stuff. It's experimental. It's fun. And we're like, ooh, this get it. Yeah. Have you used any retrospect cameras? I got a Model B 600. What's a Model B 600? It's also cold to go outside. So I have a couple. Well, yes, I do have a couple. I'm looking at my shelf. I have a couple. But they're just like the reshells. I have the Mickey camera, the 90th anniversary Disney one, which I'm actually selling. It's on my website if you want to buy it. It's really expensive. But I also have the Cam Jazz 96 Cam Jazz, which that one is one of the original like attempts. I shouldn't say an attempt. It's fine. It's just a regular Polaroid camera that they stripped down and painted. And then before they started doing inject and molded stuff. But they're just normal Polaroid cameras. They're nothing fancy about them. They just have a new skin or new style, which is cool. I like it. Ooh, great question. Why do I love this so much? So there's a lot of factors in this one. So this is the final version that they did. When they first came out with the One Step 2, there was no viewing tube or viewing finder or VF as they call it. You just kind of look through. It was weird. You couldn't really frame it up easily. It did have a viewing window here, but it didn't have the tube part of it to really like kind of see what you're framing. And then they did a couple other variations, and then this was the last one they did. They improved the flash, but man, it could just be me, but I swear they worked on this lens, maybe put a different coating on there, because the pictures I get from this is by far just astounding. They're amazing. If you stack this next to an SX70 camera, you wouldn't be able to tell a difference, at least right away, if at all. It is phenomenal. And the flash is, yes, they perfected it. It's more powerful, but it's also, it spreads more evenly, I would say. And you still get that flash look, but it's not as intense. It's not so focused in one spot. It's like spread more. It's hard to explain unless you shoot it. Amazing. The sucky thing is, and also one of the cool things about it, is it's the Stranger Things edition. So it's printed upside down, which is, I think is fun, you know. Plus, you know me, I like Stranger Things. And it has even its own like retooled, you won't be able to see it, but instructions. So it's like it says Hawkins Lab, and it's like a Demogorgon and stuff like on the bottom. I think that's cool. But the part that sucks is it is super sought after because of the show. And so you're going to pay up for one of these. I know when season 4 came out, this one, it jacked up the price of this crazy. It was like $600 for a while. Nowadays it's not that high, but you'll still pay more for it than you would for a regular One Step 2. And I have a regular One Step 2 with the VF, it's called. Brand new sealed. Actually, I'm selling it. I wanted to do a side-by-side comparison, but I got to recoup some of this freaking money I've spent. But I have a brand new one up for sale, and those are hard to find, especially sealed. They came out years ago. But that's kind of my thoughts on that. I freaking love that camera. I've taken that thing so many places. Perfect photos. The one that really broke my heart was the Polaroid Go. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. It just got to play to its strengths. I did a video, or my last live stream was on that topic. Consider checking it out. We break that down, and you just got to play to its strengths. It's not the best camera, but it serves a purpose. So yeah, again in that video or that live stream, I talked about shooting with that. Yeah, because I got some film I need to use, and I think I'm going to challenge myself to shoot or start a series. Let me back up. I'm going to start a series where I'm challenging myself to just pick one camera, and this is the only camera I use for that week or even that month or something to that effect. It'd probably have to be a week because the way I make content, I wouldn't be able to just focus on one camera for an entire month of content. No, can't do that. So for like a week, I shoot with that. And I think I will start that series with the Polaroid Go. 1 week, it's the only camera I carry, and I shoot. So stay tuned. Something's coming. Yeah, it is underrated. I just got to play to its strengths. My Polaroid Now Plus Gen 2. Oof, sorry you have one of those. The only acquired Instax Evo, the Mini Evo, just works. Yeah, because the Evo is a digital camera. It's not straight to film or whatever you want to call it. It's not lens to film, but it's digital. And you can save the photos afterwards. That's a whole other thing, and I'm glad it exists. It can get people into the hobby. A lot of people hate this thing. I don't. I think it's great for our community because somebody can buy this. It is expensive. That's the one thing that sucks. But this should be the first camera everyone buys. It just sucks. That's expensive. It's $200. But someone could buy this, shoot a photo, and every shot will come out perfect every single time. Even with the Instax mini camera, like a regular one, I guess if that's what you want to call it, you'll still get a shot every time, and you'll rarely waste shots, but there's still chances of that happening just based on the lighting sources, where you are, the sun's in the shot, things like that you don't normally need to think about when you shoot with a digital camera like this. And if you shoot with that for a while, you're probably going to find out if you enjoy shooting, and you might want to dabble in this other stuff. And then you can check out my masterclass on how to shoot instant photography. Link in the description. Half off. Today's the last day if you want to get it. And then you will never waste photos. My main gripe is that the Go doesn't have a tripod hole. But also, it doesn't really need one. Yes, it has a... I guess it does need one. I mean, it has a self-timer. Yeah. But I don't know where you'd put it. Just because the film door is on the bottom. Yeah, maybe a clip. Maybe if they provided some type of clip just to be able to hold that, then that would work. The Instax Mini 90 was my first Instax and the only Instax Mini you need. People keep telling me that. And about the 40, the Instax Mini 40. I need to check those out. Again, I've been heavily Polaroid. And there's a couple cameras on the Instax side I just never looked into. Yeah, embrace the chaos. I mean, it's a good marketing gimmick. It works. But I see through it, Polaroid. There's just some guy in a conference room going, "Oh man, our film! Look what's happening to our film! And all this stuff is crazy. Things are happening. There's inconsistencies. All this stuff. We're having problems." And there's another guy in the corner, and he's just like, "I got you covered. Hold my beer. Embrace the chaos." Covers all their bases, and everyone will love it. I also don't get why they couldn't do 10. Well, because in the beginning the film was too thick, and it's and you can save money that way. They made a brand new camera with a whole new film stock. They could have. That's exactly. That's what I've been saying too. They redesigned it. They could have put 10 in there and been in direct competition. That I'm agreement, and I agree that they should have done. But then I guess it might just raise questions for everybody. Like, well, if we want to put 10 photos in the Go, why not give us 10 photos in the rest of our cameras? I agree, though. It's kind of BS. Is that the only on the Stranger Things variant? What are you talking about? Like all the modifications that I mentioned about that? That's only on this camera. Because this was like the last one they made. It was late 2019 for season 3. And they improved the flash, and then they discontinued this and started working on the the Now, which they're getting ready to launch in early 2020, and then they had to kind of sneakily put it out. They didn't do a marketing campaign, I'm assuming because of COVID, and so it just existed randomly. It is crazy how Polaroid brings out the high quality camera yet has inconsistent film. So true. So true. Dang it, where'd you go? I can't see the rest of your comment. Oh, there it is. I need to fix that. It shouldn't. There's so much room there. I think I know how to fix. Okay, I'll look into that later. They've got to bring out professional cameras themselves. I wish Fuji would. I don't think they will. Unfortunately. I don't think so. Do I talk to Ben? Not since probably late 2020. I think that was the last time we kind of chatted. We don't talk. I've gotten some awesome shots with the Go. Go can take some good shots. Just got to play to its strength, like I said, and put it in the right scenarios. Scenarios are like at a party. That's pretty much where it shines. That's how I use my instant cameras. I pick different cameras to use each month. Interesting. I like that idea. I wish I could do that. But since I have this channel, I'm not really able to. Because I have to be trying out multiple things kind of at the same time. So that's why I'm thinking more of I could do it for a week. These comments take so long to get to you. Sometimes. I used to have a clock. I wonder if I have the clock still here. Ooh, I don't think I... Well, let's see what happens. I can't guarantee you what will happen if I push this button. The clock worked. That's what time it is here, right where I'm streaming from, the Pacific Northwest. So this is the Pacific Standard Time. I used to use this back in the day. I used to own a retail store, and I would do live like sales. I was among the very first to do that. I was cool. But anyway, I would put that timer up so people could see the delay. It was usually like 30 seconds. YouTube, I'm not sure because I didn't stream to YouTube for that stuff. I did it on Facebook. But there you go. You can kind of get an idea based off of where the time you are versus the time that I just put on the screen there for you. I used to run that so you could see it. Saying the Go does double exposure really well. That's right. I haven't used it in a while. And that review I did was like 2 years ago. I got to remember that. when I bust it out and start shooting again. Hopefully one day, would you visit Europe or Britain as an extended review or trip? So I would love to, because for a couple things. One, I won't say because it's not the time. This person, forget about that. But the other reason is Dennis from Chromatic Parts is in Britain, and I think it'd be cool to visit him. He can show me around. I've never been over there. I've been out of the country, but just to Canada. So it's, I mean, I'm 5 hours from Canada. I mean, that's not necessarily true. Well, no, that is true. I'm 5 hours from Vancouver, BC. But also I've been to Toronto, which is on the other side. But that's as far as I've gone. I'm hoping to go to Japan next October, if it works out. Caleb and Alex and I are kind of thinking about making a trip out together. But I would totally come out that way if I'm able to. Recently discovered an SX70 buried in our filing cabinets at work. Well, that's a great find. Thanks to your vids, I've started collecting and trying out. Diff, where is it? Diff, where'd you go? Different cameras. I didn't know how much they could vary. Very true. And that's a cool find. It's a great find. I'd send that to Dennis. If you don't know about that already, he can hook you up with refurbishments, some fun mods, really cool stuff. I think I could buy a Polaroid One Step Plus for $50. Maybe a couple of years ago. Not these days. In the early, a couple of years ago, they were being clearanced everywhere because they're bringing in the new stuff. I was able to find One Step Pluses at Target. There's a local store to me called Fred Meyer, which is owned by Kroger, so you probably know that name. They were clearancing them, and I was getting them for $50, sealed. And I kept like 3 of them for a while, and I eventually just sold them off. I think I gave one away. I can't remember now. It was a while ago. But still selling them off for like cheaper than they were retail, because they were retailed for $150. No, they were $130, I think. Back in the day. It is 7:52 in Georgia. Nice. 3 hours. I was out that way earlier this year. I too coming in the mail tomorrow. Hopefully it's not as bad as people say. If you use it in manual mode, it's fine-ish. Just use your brain on the light meter. The metering on it isn't very good. If you're relying on it to shoot auto, it still overexposes your shots. Really bad. If you haven't seen my video, read the comments too. People have the same issue. Come back to Toronto. Yeah, we got to hang out when I was there, and we didn't even take a freaking picture. What a shame. What a shame. What a waste. You just got to come out my way now. I've already been out your way once. But come on. Living in Alaska, you get a lot of interesting photos with Polaroid. I bet. I've always wanted to go to Alaska. I haven't been there. Still amazed how you get that thing for $5. Oh, this one. Yeah, I paid $5 for this back in the day. With its box and the Ever Ready case. I think that's what you call it. $5. It's a pretty good deal. Love the white Model 2. I managed to find one for a decent price after looking for a while. Still amazed how to get the ad. Yeah. Wait, did I already push that one? What happened? Anyway, I think I pushed the wrong thing. But yeah, Instax is great for a lot of things. 10 photos. I just love the feel of Polaroid, though. I just gotta say, I love the feel of them, the size of them, the look of them when they work, the cameras when there's so many options, so many customization abilities. Especially now with Dennis, you're able to turn this into a manual controlled camera with Bluetooth. That's so cool. And shoot I-type in these too. There's so many cool things that you can do with Polaroid cameras. It just sucks that the film is so temperamental and expensive. You have to really pay attention to so many other things that you don't really have to worry about with Instax. Because like Instax film, I think the oldest film I've shot was 10 years old. And it's stuff. That would have been 12 years because it was 10 years past the expiration date. Because Instax They claim 2 years. Then it expires. They literally put an expiration date on the boxes. Polaroid doesn't. They like I said earlier, they just say you'll get the best results within the first year of its production date. But there's no expiration date. But this stuff, yeah, it was 10 years past the expiration, so it was 12 years old, and it worked flawlessly. Versus Polaroid, you're gonna get not. I've shot. I think the oldest I've shot was 3 years, and it was very faded, very desaturated. It gave an interesting look, and then. Well, no, I'd be older than that because I've been still rocking some of the Stranger Things film. I've got a pack and a half left of that. And that stuff still works. Sometimes you get some bad spread because it dries up. But if you store it properly, like in the fridge and stuff, you can extend the life of Polaroid a long time. But it'll never be what it was within that first year. It'll be kind of very foggy and desaturated. So it's kind of a bummer. But yeah. I'll probably come to the West, but I'm now expecting a bundle of joy. That's right. Congratulations. I haven't seen you in the club meetings in forever. You gotta get back in there. Let's chat and catch up. I'll come back with a case of FP100 Steve from Japan when you go. I have 1 pack left of that, and 1 shot left in my camera. I need to shoot that. I got a video coming of that. It's an interesting one because I've traveled so much with that camera and shot photos from different locations. I've shot some in California, some in Florida, some in Georgia, maybe Ohio. I can't remember if I shot some in Ohio or not. But I got a video that will be coming on another pack film video. I got to shoot that last photo. But yeah, do you guys have like a secret stash out there? Hook it up. How do you store your Instax photos? I currently use a clear trading card, sheets, and a binder. My binder broke, so now my photos what? Now. Hang on, I gotta find your comment. Oh, there it is. My binder breaks on my photos. Now I use boxes and tins. So, I do have a video, like I said, coming out in tomorrow, if you remember, or the next day, if you're not. About accessories, and one of them is on that. But I didn't include some of the other things I use for Instax. So if you use an Instax Mini, you can use, they'll fit. They're not perfect size. It's a little too big. But you can use trading cards sleeves, with the top loader sleeves, and you can use those types of binders as well. If you're going to be using Polaroid, I recommend the Polaroid album. And then there's some Instax versions of those. And I go over some of my favorites in that video that's coming out. And then what else was there? Or I use shoe boxes. I go to like a craft store and I have... Are they back here? Here we go. Ugh. The ones that don't end up in binders go in like a shoe box. I just put them in there. I get like different colored ones and I write the year on them. Try and keep things organized. Not that it necessarily matters, but it tends to help a little bit. Come on. Speaking of storing in the fridge, do you store packs laying flat or vertical? Good question. With Instax, it don't matter. I don't even store the photos in the fridge. I think I do have some white in there, maybe. But it kind of just happened to end up in there. I don't even store that. Who cares? That stuff works no matter what. But I tend to do, I guess, I tend to do flat, I would say. But I also do vertical. Not every photo is stored flat. Polaroid, I think, suggests you do flat. Who knows if that even matters? Like, how can you test that? I don't think it really matters. But follow what Polaroid says, I guess. But do it flat. I guess I don't really care. Ooh, the SQ10. 10? Which one's that? Is that the new one? Is that the black one that just came out? I can't remember what the name of that one is. But the square is great. They're hard to find. But which one's the 10? You talking about the 1? Let me know. I'm kind of actually confused about that. Woo! Well, I'll be watching that video. Oh, the pack film one? I'm trying to remember what I said. How long would you recommend leaving a partially shot film pack in a Polaroid camera? Ooh, that I've been testing. Let me finish reading your comment before I dive into that. Will light leach in? No, you don't have to worry about light leach. What you have to worry about with Polaroid is once they're out of their little Pop-Tart wrapping, they're exposed to the elements, right? So moisture can get inside, because Polaroid film's mostly cardboard and paper. They're not really plastic like Instax. That's why Instax works so well. They use a lot of plastic in their photos, so they seal in moisture. Like they have like a stronger moisture barrier, what I'm saying. And you don't want moisture to get in there because it can kind of dry out the film or the chemistry. And so Polaroid, if you're in an area where like high humidity, they'll over time will go bad in your film. However, I've been testing it. I have my Taz camera, which I don't know why I chose that camera. I need to do a video on that camera. But I have a Taz 600 camera, and I put that film in there over a year ago, and I've been randomly shooting it. Still getting photos. Some of them are great. Some of them are fine. They're not amazing, but they still work. But just to be safe, I would recommend, if you're going to be storing your film in your camera, just shoot it pretty, within like a month, less than a month. But I've bought in cameras and I've done videos on it, mostly shorts. So if you go to my shorts or my reels, like on Instagram or YouTube, I've bought in like one-step cameras that have had film in it. And the person told me like, yeah, I bought this camera 2 years ago, only shot a couple. So there's still some photos in there. And I shot them and they were fine. They were a little bit like desaturated just because of the age of the film, but they worked. So I don't think it's necessarily a right or wrong one, but it also does come down to where you live. I do forget that. I live in, like I said, in the Pacific Northwest. We don't really get high humidities or extreme weather. It's pretty even. I mean, our winters are pretty mild and our summers aren't too crazy. So there is that, depending on where you are in the world. I don't know where you're at, so. So yeah, the Polaroid film from Polaroid is on sale that I saw. $13, $14. Great deal. I need to get one because every year I do a album live stream usually on New Year's or right around New Year's. I'll do my 2020 whatever, or that year's photo album, best photos I've taken. And I need an album for that. I need to get one. Now's the time. I should get one. How do you feel about the one instant pack film? Oof, I wish it was better. I wish you were guaranteed a photo. I wish they were creating the film. I wish they weren't using already expired stuff. I'm happy they exist. I'm happy they're trying. But regardless, it's a limited time thing just because they're using old stock. I would very much love someone to step up and actually try to make it from scratch. I don't see that happening ever, but it's a wishful thinking. One can dream. But I'm glad they're trying. But man, it's so expensive. It's stupid. And you're not even guaranteed a photo to work. It's frustrating. It's a lot of money. It's interesting you can build it yourself with their new release of the One Instant. What do you mean? Support the cause if you can. What do you mean build the... I guess I am out of the loop. Talk to me. Tell me what's going on. Or I just need to look into it. I left 670 black and white film in my camera for over a year. I completely forgot about it, so I went ahead and shot it. Pictures came out beautiful. Yeah, there you go. It just depends on where you live, and as long as it's not exposed to intense weather conditions, you'll be fine. Straight content. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Never tried Instax, but enjoy Polaroid. Recently got an old film, which probably is bad. What do you mean? Looking forward to see what happens. Impossible. Oh, impossible. Yeah, probably not going to work. Yeah, none of those. But hey, let me know. Let me know if it works. But probably not. Especially Impossible Project stuff, because in the early days of Impossible Project, that stuff didn't really work day one. They were trying. They literally had to reinvent the formula, and because they can't use the original stuff. It cannot be used. The Polaroid was grandfathered in to their formula or their chemistry because they were using stuff that was pretty harmful to the environment, and it got banned. But the way it worked is they were already using it, and they were told you can still continue to use it, but if you ever stop, it can never be used again. Well, they went bankrupt, and new people took over, so they had to reinvent the wheel, basically. So that's why it's not the same as it was before, and everyone complains about that. Well, if you research and find out why, well, there you go. And then here I am defending them again. See what I mean? I'm in the trenches. I fight for them every turn, but they don't like me. At all. Oh, wrong one. A couple more comments, and we'll probably have to wrap it on up here. I forgot to put my freshly taken Polaroid pictures in my warm pocket the other day. Now they're all bluish. Expensive lesson. Yeah. Everyone does that, man. Everyone, especially in the beginning, when you're first starting. And if you are first starting, I want to remind you guys that today is the last day to get 50% off my masterclass on instant photography. I mean, heck, I only launched that a couple months ago, by the way. It's like brand new. It's over 3.5 hours of exclusive content broken up into like bite-sized consumable, like a video forum through an educational platform that I'm using. It's super cool. It's half off, $29.99. $60 already was a good deal, but now you can get it for freaking $30. Are you kidding me? Giving it away. Link is in the description. Master the art of instant photography. You stop wasting money on wasted film. That's basically what that's the goal. That's the goal. I feel like I'd be super easy to just cut SX70 negative and use that chemistry to create new pack film. So I have always wondered, and I have no way of figuring it out. So this is up to you. I have always wondered, because you buy it old film, like Polaroid film from like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever it is, and the chemistry's dried up and it's bad. But that doesn't mean the film is bad, just the chemistry, right? So you could technically, in theory, still shoot that and then develop the film somehow, right? I have no way to actually do it. So if someone does that, let me know, because I'm super curious. Because you could cut it open and develop it somehow. I'm assuming, but I don't know necessarily how all that works. That's kind of above me. Above my pay grade. Cheaper per shot of one instant now. Cheaper per shot? What's cheaper? But what's cheaper mean? The dog's doing something weird over there. Cheaper per shot. You assemble it yourself. They need... That's intriguing, but man, what's cheaper? Because it was like, what, $50? Well, no, it was 30 euros for 3 shots, right? No, that was more than that. Well, how much was it? And then they did a price increase like a year or two ago, and it was like really expensive. I'm like, dang, and you weren't guaranteed a shot because it's handmade technically, or hand assembled. I'm still rocking the Go film. Can mess up sometimes, but I get gold with it. That's awesome. That's super cool. I'm glad to hear it. Well, I'm gonna get a good wrap up here, you guys. I'm gonna start streaming every week again. Yeah, Mondays I'm gonna start streaming probably 3 p.m. That's kind of 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's kind of where I'm aiming for. I went at 4 today because I was wrapping up a video. I was in the zone. Didn't want to break it. It was just done, and I finished it. And I'm going to get that uploaded and ready to go for members tomorrow morning. That's where I'm aiming. I always try to release stuff in the morning. And then it'll be out for the regular release the following day. And so hopefully you guys stick around and watch the live streams weekly. Love to see you guys get some questions answered. And I learned some stuff, just like today. I haven't heard about the one instant stuff. I would love to dive deeper into that. And I have a special guest working the lineup for the next podcast episode. Yeah. You know this person. You'll love this person. They've been around the block for a while, and they're very much in depth into the film community. I'm very excited. I'm not going to say who they are just yet because they got to work out some details. But I'm very, very excited about them. So I will say they're Toronto-based. I'll just say that much. And I'm very much excited to get them on. So if you guys want to see that, be sure to subscribe and continue to watch. Got some great content coming your way. I got some other fun stuff. And be sure to check out the masterclass. Last day, half off. Get it. Get it. Stop wasting money on film. Or excuse me, wasted film, that is. Because when I first started, I was just shooting crazy. And everything was bad. And I was getting discouraged and didn't want to shoot anymore. And I wasted a lot of money when I first started. I want to eliminate that. But not only when I first started, there's still a lot of stuff I've learned even after I thought I've mastered it. And I didn't. I got better even afterwards. So I think it's for everybody. There are some basic stuff in there, but there's some more advanced stuff in there as well. A lot of shooting demonstrations, and I'm going to be adding to it in 2024. And it's a free add-ons. Yeah, you don't have to pay for it anymore. So why not lock in that $29.99 deal and wait for that stuff? Because there's one thing I definitely want to add in there, and that is going to be shooting at night. Night photography, how to shoot it, and I'm going to include that in that as a free add-on. In addition to the course, I think the next course I will be creating, because a lot of people have expressed interest in it, is an in-depth how to use the Polaroid i2. Because it's pretty difficult if you're just getting started, if you've never used a manual control type camera before. And so I think I'll be diving into that as its own thing potentially later next year. We'll see. But that's kind of where I'm at. I really appreciate you guys checking it out. A couple last minute. Well, we got only one. I can go for it. What you got? Best way to clean an SX70 interior mirror. Send it to Dennis from Chromatic Parts. Refurb it. That's the best thing. Other than that, you're going to just get some Q-tips in there and try and wipe it, which you'll probably screw up. Send it to him. He's the best. He's the best and the cheapest and the fastest and the best work, hands down. So I would send you to Dennis from Chromatic Parts. No link in the description. I didn't put him in there. But find him on Instagram. Contact him there. I know he's working on a website. He's got some other secret stuff coming down the pipeline that I'm excited for him. Very excited for him. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to wrap it up. I really appreciate you hanging out and having a lovely conversation. I'll see you guys soon. I didn't play the credits. Oh no. Credits. And I forgot to switch the camera. That's why. Whoops. I forgot to do that. Oh well, no credits today. Thank you guys so much for watching me fumble through this. I'm a professional, I swear. See you guys later. Get out there. Make some more.